I think before we get into the the script for the day or what we're going to talk about, the agendas, I'll start by saying we are going to take a flashback into what we predicted in our last episode, which was before the FA Cup and before the Champions League. And it's fair to say all three of us got our predictions wrong. I was convinced City were going to win. And I even on a bad day, I didn't think United were going to beat them. I was very wrong. All of us were wrong. But credit to United. We have to give them that credit. And that kept Ten Haag in his job. I'm sure that must have been a reason he still has
Most
the job.
probably, yeah.
If he didn't win that, who knows? But we also said that we all
Ten Hag would be sacked.
We agreed Ten Hag should be sacked.
Yeah. I still
They
think he'll
stuck
get
with him.
sacked, like mid-season.
In December.
But he's made it for now.
But I think both ways, United fans got what they wanted. So they
got
ended
a
up with a trophy, and like we discussed last time, most United fans wanted Ten Hag to stay
yeah.
in a better structure. So yeah.
But look, I want to say I give the board some credit. They stuck with their gun. I mean, there was pressure. Everyone was saying sack Ten Hag, sack Ten Hag. It would have been the easiest choice to make. No one would have questioned them if they sacked him, But then I guess you go back and you think, are there really any great options out there? Maybe Pochettino, but Pochettino didn't have a great run at Chelsea. So I guess they... You see, Kuts, why I think... The fact that he stayed was okay, but the fact that they offered him a new contract, that makes no sense.
That was also one of his...
requirements to stay. Then, dude, how can Ten Hag be in a position to demand anything?
I mean, he's just extended by a year. It doesn't...
Yeah, but your compensation increases if you sack him, right? Maybe a couple of $1 million, pounds. I guess it's not a lot.
So Ten Hag is not only... He's a good businessman.
Yeah, I guess. Look, so like...
But the second best Dutch manager in the Premier League.
I'm not going to say anything.
Time will tell.
Oh, no, Slot.
We're gonna get to Arne Slot. I think that's worthy of a few minutes. Second was, of course, Madrid. We know we all predicted Madrid to win the Champions League. Respect, best run club in the world, probably one of the best managers to ever grace the sport.
Hands down.
He's won the most.
He's probably won the most.
Yeah.
I think Ancelotti is up there.
He's won the most Champions League.
No, he's something else, man.
Yeah.
Zidane's got 4.
No, man. Ancelotti's got more. He won 2 in Milan.
6 or something.
Okay.
We're pulling... this is our stats.
Stats check.
Real has to be the one to pull out
But
stats.
I think he's the manager with the most Champions Leagues.
Yeah. I would put him up there, maybe top 3 of all time.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so GOAT, one of the GOATs.
Carlo.
So, yeah, credit to Madrid. Then, Kuts, I think you want to maybe pick up on the Euros. That's the only thing that's actually happened since our last episode.
Didn't come home.
So the good and the bad
closer,
of the Euros.
I think for the whole of the world, the good was that it didn't come home. But it was pretty bad for me.
It was only England and England fans no one else supported. All the neutrals were Spain.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're so hated.
I don't know. I don't get the bad rep that us English have.
That's why. Maybe that answers your question.
No, but I mean, I don't get why. You see, this is this is what I like.
No, but England are just hyped. England are just hyped.
The media hypes them. I agree. They're nowhere near as good as the media says they are. I agree. But my point here is, it's the most popular. The English league is the most popular league in the world. All of us, as a group of friends, watch. And most people around the world watch the Premier League. We watch these players week in, week out, support them when they wear the club kits. But when they wear an England kit, if no one wants to support them, it makes no sense to me. You're watching their league. How can you not at least have a soft corner for England?
I think when they wear the England jersey, there's a couple of United guys and a couple of City guys, so it's difficult to support all of them
like us.
together.
We've got Trent there, okay?
Yeah, but there's one Trent.
In the Spain team. Who was there from Liverpool in the Spain team?
That's why it's easy to support a neutral. You don't really care who wins.
No, but in that case, but you still supported Spain over England.
I support anybody.
Why
over
didn't you
England.
support England when Trent was there? He didn't start, fine, but Trent was in the team, and he's a Liverpool player. Gomez was there; he's a Liverpool player. Technically, you should be leaning more towards a Liverpool player winning a trophy than.
I think
I mean,
for
that's
me,
why I started supporting England, because Gerrard.
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
same. It was similar, Gerrard, Owen, and the connection that they had. But I think for me now, it's I don't really like England because it's overhyped.
it's because of the
I
media.
think it's because of the
They're
media.
the
I think-
United of the international.
Yeah, I mean, maybe because we follow English media. I mean, if you follow Spain and Germany, it's probably the same everywhere. But because we
Yeah.
follow a lot of the English media, and they're overhyped. Look, they've got a very average. They had a very average coach. They had a very average
Yeah.
run to the final, and
Although
had an
credit to
easy-
Southgate, I mean, he's
he's brought
Yeah,
them
but
up.
you know,
he's
why-
gotten them to finals and semis and all of that.
Okay, so this is where I agree with you, because it is hard work to reach a final, but England
it's
was
consistent.
lucky. England in the last two tournaments, they were very lucky with
but
the
I
run
mean,
of
they've-
games.
They've still.
They were dealt the cards they played.
you
Yeah,
play with what's given in front of
that's
you.
fine, but let's be fair.
And
in the
for-
Euros, if
for
they were
them
in the
to
other,
face those other teams, those
Had
other
to win.
teams knocked out big
yeah,
teams.
but other small teams. In England's line, there were no big teams. Who was the biggest team in England's?
Italy got knocked out.
Yeah, much earlier.
Yeah. Then
All the other big boys were
Yeah.
on the other side. And that's the thing. If England was on the other side, they would never have made it even probably past quarters.
They barely beat Slovakia. So
Yeah. That's where I think, okay, but these are ifs and buts. Okay, but the fact is, even for the World Cup, it was the same. England had the easier side of the fixtures. But like you said, you still have to beat the teams that you're put up against. So
Look,
credit to them.
I think it's a step up from the Roy Hodgson days and stuff like that. But it's still it's still not as good as what you get. But because if you look at the numbers, say the top 5, top 6 English players, the front 5 or 6, they have plus minus about 170, 180 goals in the season, and if you fail to beat Slovakia, you see what I mean?
Yeah, but that's
of play,
coaching.
the style of play, they don't
but
they don't win you. You know what I mean? When you
Those
watch
They don't
them,
entertain you.
they don't
Those are
entertain
down
you.
to
But even
tactics.
if you're a neutral,
But France didn't play well
let's say,
either.
let's say you're a neutral and you're watching football, right? You watch
Yeah.
England. Do they make you want to support them?
No, they don't. Not
if
in
you
this
watch
tournament.
Spain,
Not
yeah,
in this
no,
tournament.
but under Southgate, let's be fair, they haven't done that. If you follow Spain, the good for me was the best team won the Euros.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The better for me was England didn't win the Euros.
Fair enough.
So-
Okay, you don't
so-
support them, but
so I don't-
Spain.
so-
yeah, the fact that Spain won it and no one else did.
Yeah. So
I agree.
Yeah. So that's what it is. There's certain
But
times when
Ryan,
people.
international football is not about playing good football; it's about playing effective football, right?
See, I
it's short
agree.
tournaments.
I agree. But when you're sitting down and you have had a hard day at work and you want to sit down and watch a game of
Yes,
football,
you want to watch something
if you watch
entertaining.
England, you'll sleep.
To be fair,
so
most
you end
games
your
in this
hard day-
tournament was you'd sleep.
This
Yeah.
must have been one of the most boring Euros.
Yeah,
ever.
agreed.
100%. It was. There was. I can't. If you ask me, what's your fondest memory of this Euros?
Sleeping.
I don't remember any moment that stood out.
I think the Lasine Yamal goal,
Okay.
the semis.
But that's what we were talking about, like they Yamal, fair enough, top talent, generational talent, he's going to be great. But the tournament he had, we were talking about it. There've been youngsters in previous tournaments
Yeah.
who've had
Way
way
better.
bigger of an impact
Yeah.
or more entertainment.
Rooney, when he started in 2004, we were just talking about him.
We talked
His
about
stats were
thingy,
better.
James Rodriguez, that World Cup. Bro,
Where he
the guy
lit
got
up the
you
World
in.
Cup.
Huh?
Well, he's just turned
He's
17.
16. Yeah,
He's
but
16.
Even James
Yeah, but
Rodriguez was 17 or 18 then.
No. I think Rodriguez was older, but
It was,
like
it
let's
was
say
18. You're talking about like
Rooney-
12 years ago.
Rooney in 2004 when he
Or 10
when
years
he
ago.
Yeah. But I mean, what Lasine Yamal's done is
Huge for his
it's
age.
huge, of course.
youngest
But like-
ever
So
Yeah.
goal
what were
scorer
you
in the
doing when
semis.
you were 16?
I know what I was doing, but I can't say it here. Anyway, okay. Next topic. What were we talking about now? We're talking about United,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. So we're going to talk
So-
about the current scenario, the latest transfer news, and the teams that are have really started well. I know there's still a month and a half to go to the transfer window ends, but yeah, just catching up on the latest transfers. Which teams have started off on a good note? Which teams are yet to start off?
But
Liverpool.
that's so objective. Like, how do you judge how well a team has done now, this early? Don't worry, it'll go this early because you're talking about transfers, But transfers are hit or miss, right?
No, but
unless you talk about number of transfers or value
that I'm
for
trying
money.
to
No, the
stress,
players that have been
the point I'm trying
Yeah, but
to
like,
stress
I mean-
is how teams have realized where they were lacking last season and identified certain targets and started working on them.
Right.
So let's start with United. I mean, they had the worst season last year, and they needed to change a lot of things, and they've gone out there. They've gotten a centre back.
Yeah.
Who apparently is a
19.
generational talent.
Yeah.
So whether they've spent over the odds and all that only time will tell. But
Yeah.
at least they realized that they're lacking there, so they went out there and got somebody who even Real Madrid wanted. So he's not a bad name to get.
You see, but this is where I question United, and this is a question that's been always hanging over United when it comes to how smart they are with their spending. And this was something that got them in a lot of trouble earlier, also in previous seasons, when they go out and spend ridiculous amount of money to attract a player, because naturally you
But
need to pay them over the odds to bring them in.
But like before, they pay a lot of money for like Pogba or Di Maria.
Pogba was a great dude. When they re-signed Pogba, he was at the top of his game.
Yeah.
Di Maria was a good. Even now, Di
million.
Maria is considered a good player.
Yeah.
Okay, Falcao was probably reaching the end of his career. Zlatan was still also.
No, but the good thing now is that they're
He's
not
young.
buying stars like that.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
but
think
that
there's a
still
buying
doesn't.
They're buying potential with hunger.
I
Okay,
think
so let me ask you,
what
this
we're
is what I
trying to
asked
say.
you.
What we're trying to say now is United got a structure.
Yeah,
They know
okay.
that these are the areas that they've identified, and they're getting players based on that. They're not just going for because he's
Yeah,
available.
but you're
Let's get.
talking about you. We never heard of Euro till this end of the season.
Yeah, but
Okay,
nobody
this is a
did.
guy-
Technically, nobody did. It
My
was
point.
just one
okay,
season.
so all of a sudden he's worth 62 million euros.
Yeah, but that's you see.
But now my question is, whereas they could have gone out
They
and got
probably like overpaid by like 20 or 30
easy,
million.
dude. He's only got 1 year left on his contract,
Yeah.
which is why Madrid and PSG didn't pay.
Yeah.
Madrid came out and offered 30, PSG offered 40. They said that's it because he's going to be free next year,
Yeah.
and that's the smart thing to do. You don't overspend because the guy's going to be free. But these guys spent 62 million on a player that's going to be free in a season, and he's 19. I have no issues with spending on a 19-year-old, but this is a 19-year-old who's playing.
Yeah, but I think the way United probably looking at it is like if they hit it well
He has
with
the
this
talent.
transfer, let's say for 10 years, that's for
You see,
10
we went and spent 65 or 75 million on Van Dijk, but Van Dijk was firstly 25, I think 25, and he was in the Premier League for 3 or 4 seasons. It was it made sense. It was still a lot to pay for a centre back, but
I mean, it's
Yeah.
easy. It's easy to say now that
Yeah.
we didn't overspend, but at that
Yeah,
point,
of
at
course.
that point, it felt like we got ripped off.
because he was a centre back, yes, 75 for a centre back was unheard of then.
and he was like, it's not like he was at the level that he is now.
Yeah. And he,
He
wasn't
wasn't.
playing
He
for
wasn't.
a big
Yeah.
team.
He
He was
wasn't.
at Southampton
Yeah,
anyway. So
but
it's
he was
easy
still
to
Van Dijk. He was-
Yeah, but it's easy to stand out at Southampton. You know what I mean? It's easy to stand out.
But you've got 2-3 years of Premier League to
Agreed.
judge him.
Yeah,
by.
yeah, Premier League experience, great, but like,
Yeah. I
Agreed,
mean, this
but
guy's 19. I haven't
that
even watched
wasn't
him
a
play.
fair price. We got ripped off there.
We probably overpaid by 20 million.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's what's happened here now.
Yeah, but we overpaid for 20 million for a 25-year-old who played in the Premier League for 3 years and was a good centre back in the Premier League for 3 years. Not great, but good. This guy's a 19-year-old who hasn't done anything. He's had a few
he's
good
high
games.
up in the
Yeah, but you see,
Golden
this is-
Boy.
this is what
saying
it
that
is.
Liverpool were linked with him too, and I'd have been happy to get him. But I wouldn't want us to have paid 62 million for him.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I mean, if we paid it, you'd have still been excited for what's coming.
Would be excited. So
Yeah,
that's the
so
thing.
I think-
United fans can be
yeah,
excited,
yeah.
but that's where we have perspective because we're not caught up in all that hype. We can take a step back and say, are they still making the same mistakes? Are they overspending?
See, if you're not at this point in time, United need to fix things. Okay, in the past they fixed things by maybe signing players that stars that are either past their peak
Casemiro.
or they've won everything. You know that
Casemiro.
hunger and
Casemiro is
desire.
an example.
Okay, No, I mean, they went and got Anthony. They got that wrong. For now, the jury is out on him. They signed
Most
Hoyland.
likely wrong.
Hoyland, the jury is out on him.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's very difficult to say whether the strikers. I mean, look at Liverpool. We signed Darwin for 85 million, and the jury is still out on him. Okay, so these the point
is the jury out on him? I think he's been considered a flop already.
No, it's saying
Like
that
he's got potential, but
he
he's
scores
flop.
30. If he scores 30 goals this season, you're not going to call him a flop anymore. But my
But
point,
last season he was a flop.
my
Based
point
on
him,
2 seasons, he's a flop.
Yeah.
yeah, but my point is, see, with transfers, it's a hit or miss. We can't tell. But at least United are now identifying the areas and getting players that they need, rather than just because he's out there.
We're going to get him.
We're going to
Okay,
get
so
him.
let me ask you.
Okay, so now,
Sorry.
just let me one. So they've got Euro. They've got Zirkzee, the Bologna
Zirkzee.
sorry, the Bologna centre forward, right? At least they know that Martial left, so they've got a backup there. Euro,
Improvement.
Yeah,
100%.
Euro is definitely an improvement on whoever they've got. Evans
left.
and
Except Martinez.
Maguire.
Varane left.
Varane
left, so that's good. They're linked with another Ugarte in
He's-
midfield.
yeah,
him
he's also-
and Zubimendi between the two of them. I don't know who they end up getting.
Those
And
feel like
Neves-
squad players though.
No, but dude, who's the
Ugarte doesn't
who's
even
starting?
start for
No, that's
Yeah.
PSG. But at United, he
Who's the
starts.
defensive midfielder?
Who's the defensive
Casemiro.
midfielder? No, Casemiro.
He's so past his.
Casemiro doesn't start.
Yeah, I know. But
Casemiro should not be wearing a United
If-
t-shirt.
if they sign- if they sign-
it's not like he's a wow transfer. He's a good.
No, Ugarte,
good
I
player.
think.
No,
Look,
but-
the whole of Europe was linked with Ugarte last season. PSG
but
got
like,
him.
he hasn't.
You see,
He
he
hasn't performed. But I think what they're basing it on is who he was before PSG. And if you buy him for
But that was
But
Sporting
if you-
Lisbon. That
if
wasn't.
you get him,
But you see, this is my point. Like, he did well for PSG. Paid 50 million for him, and at that point, Liverpool is linked with him also. He
Yeah.
must have talent, right?
something, yeah.
So I mean, for him to come, and I think he'll be an improvement on
And I have a
Casemiro
feeling.
purely
I have
on
a
legs.
feeling
Slow
if they
for
sign
the
him, if they sign
I
him,
haven't.
if they
seen him.
sign him, I think Casemiro goes.
Casemiro should be a squad player now.
Yeah.
But then, are you going to keep a £300,000 squad?
That's what I'm saying. So if they
squad player?
sign a defensive player, Casemiro goes. That's the end
Yeah.
of Casemiro. It's simple.
Yeah, fair enough.
So
And
United
that's
have
big
started.
because it frees up wages.
Yeah,
Huge,
United have started well. You look at Chelsea.
Okay.
Sorry.
So, okay, my only question here. So, I'll throw one more thing at you. United spent 62 million on Euro. Why not go out and spend that on, is it Marquay? The English centre back? He's what, 21 years old?
I don't know.
Premier League experience?
We
But
don't know
maybe-
what they're
maybe they
looking
don't-
for in the centre back.
Exactly.
He's got Premier League experience. He's young. He was a top defender last season. He was one of the best defenders in the league last season. He did well for England. He was probably one of England's best players. Why wouldn't you go and buy someone like that instead of going and buying Euro, who's no experience in the league? Not one good season. Like, I don't know. I just think I don't look. Like I said, like he could turn out to be top 3 centre backs in the world 5 years from now, and he'll be worth £200 million. Money well spent. I agree, but I still feel: are they making the right decisions? Are they really thinking about it before signing certain players? I don't know.
I feel it's a step in the right direction. I think they've got a
It's
better
than
structure.
the shit that they used to do before.
It's definitely.
I
It's
think
Okay,
they're
so
in
you're
the right direction.
you think they're better off having signed Euro for 62 million euros than Delit for 30 million euros or 35 million euros?
I think Dillit has been a flop. To be very honest,
in
I
his
think
career,
he's
yes.
overrated.
In his career,
Yeah.
yes, but
Dillit's
Because
He's
played for
still
big
only
clubs.
22.
He's played for
He's played
massive
for
clubs.
Juve. He's played
Yeah,
for Bayern.
and flopped in
And
every.
he hasn't done well.
Only
at
Ajax he did well.
After Ajax, he hasn't done well. So if Liverpool were to go and spend the 30 or 40 on Dillit, I'd rather they spend that money on Euro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's my perspective. I think the fact that he couldn't get into a Juve team and couldn't get into a Bayern team that's got Dyer as their centre back, that should say a lot. So
Yeah.
if United are getting Dillit, then there's a problem. I think it's now that would
So
be probably
that
a
shows
step
progress.
back.
Okay.
No, Euro shows
Progress over
Dillit,
someone,
Yeah,
yeah.
Dillit, I think I'm
Back
not
in the
too
years,
sure.
they probably would have signed Delit.
Yeah. Back in the years, they would have
Yeah, probably not. They would have gone for like a 30-year-old centre back.
Brought Chiellini out of retirement.
No, I
but
think,
yeah,
I
fair
think United are heading in the right direction.
They are.
They are.
They're in the
So
right
well done.
direction. They should probably start doing well, and if they don't, then by December, I think Ten Hag sacked.
No, look, I think the fact that they stuck with Ten Hag is a good thing because all managers need time. In the sense,
There was no one else out there that was
Poch was
viable.
probably the closest. But that
Yeah,
too,
but
if
like-
Poch did better with Chelsea, maybe. I think Poch didn't really impress.
Yeah, but
With
like
Chelsea?
you'd rather keep Ten Hag than get Poch.
Why?
Because you're going to start all over again with Pochettino.
Yeah, but you're going to start it all over again if you sack Ten Hag in December. So, I mean,
Yeah, but at least you've given him a fair shot.
yeah, that's exactly it. Now, when you say fair shot, this is going to be his third season, right? So he's had 2 full seasons.
2.5, I think.
Oh, even me, I don't know, I'm not sure. But last season, we can say wasn't great because he had injuries. Can't judge the guy. Let's say this season should be a good litmus test, I guess.
Yeah, having said that, he's won more trophies than Klopp in the same period.
Yeah, but you're talking about Klopp taking over Liverpool
in 2 years,
at the dumps.
In 2 years, look, what Klopp did for Liverpool is very different. But if it depends on perspective.
Yeah,
Well,
you should
last
judge him
season
when he's
trophies,
done with
isn't it?
United.
Since Ten Hag came, they've won the same number
They've
of
won
trophies.
2 FA Cups. Liverpool's won 1 Carabao Cup.
One FA Cup.
1 FA Cup.
No, and what he's saying is even in the first 2 years of Ten Hag's tenure, he's
Yeah.
won more than
More
Klopp
than
did in
Klopp
the first
did,
2
yeah.
years.
Yeah.
But
He's got a better points record than Klopp, Arteta.
Yeah, a lot
someone
of
else.
See, the thing is all
It's-
about perspective. When you manage Manchester United, the pressure is just insane. Liverpool fans, we know what Liverpool was before Klopp came in,
Yeah.
right? So we are happy with that. These guys are used to the Fergusons and
Exactly.
and
It's
all,
still
and
very
it's
recent for
it's
them.
very
Plus,
recent.
but plus the games that Ten Hag's been winning have been like horrible football.
But
Like
this is
they don't
exactly
play good football.
exactly. Klopp, you could see what he was trying to do.
But-
You could see he was trying to bring in good. Dude, you cannot compare Klopp and Ten Hag in terms of style
See,
of football.
All I'm saying is it's
Results.
about perspective.
Results.
It's results. I
It's
agree,
all
but
about
Klopp got the
perspective.
results
It's all
eventually.
about eventually. It's all about perspective. So this is what now United, probably the board has said that look, whilst having so many injuries and whatever you had, you still managed to win as a trophy, and you've
Yeah,
at least
yeah,
brought
yeah.
some sort of
Yeah,
sanity.
fair enough.
So
Winning the FA
why
Cup
not
is hard.
why not give you a structure?
Hmm.
Why not give you a structure and let you buy the players that you want?
Yeah.
Within our structure, and then let's see
Yes.
how it goes.
Yeah.
So I think, like I said, the bottom line I feel is United
done
are,
well. Yeah.
are in the right headed
Yes.
in the right direction. If they get a couple of more signings, look, like I said, the transfers could be a hit and a miss. You could
Yeah.
they got Ronaldo. People thought he'd win the
Yeah.
league for them, but
Yeah.
it didn't work out. It
Yeah.
didn't work out.
Yeah.
You can't blame United for trying,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Well, yeah.
So it is.
I don't think the current tenure would ever. I don't think Ratcliffe would ever go and do that.
That's
make
why I'm
emotional
saying,
decisions,
That's why
yeah.
I'm saying they're in the right direction.
They're in the right
They're not
direction.
making
He's a passionate owner.
They're
Yeah.
not making emotional decisions. They
Yeah.
are actually thinking about the
Logically.
future.
Yeah,
They're
fair
saying
enough.
that look, it took, say, maybe a club like Liverpool so many years to get to back
Yeah.
to it. And Ten Hag came out yesterday. Was it yesterday, the day before? And he said. Ragnick was so correct about
Yes.
United.
Yes.
Where he
It's
said
open
that
heart
United,
surgery,
yeah,
yeah.
United need a longer time to
Yes.
sort out.
There's a
maybe
lot
that's
of
why.
issues, yeah.
Maybe that's why. Coming back to your point, United have given him a 2-year deal to say, okay, what? Come what may, we will give you a 2-year deal, provided at least you reach Champions League or maybe win
Top
another
4.
trophy or something like that. Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that.
Look,
so
I
that
think United have bigger issues also. They've got the stadium, they've got the training ground. They've got big issues. They have a lot of revamping to do. So, but it's good to see that they've stuck in a way the good thing-
Continuity, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
At least there's consistency. So that's good. Okay, so just to touch on our final topic of the podcast for today, we're going to talk about fantasy football.
FPL, baby.
Yeah,
It's something we've been doing for a
congratulations
while.
on winning the league last
I
year.
know.
Thank you. Thank
Yes.
you. It was hard work.
I know.
Eliado was tough, but we got there.
Not tough enough.
Not tough
If you're
enough, I
watching
guess.
Eliado.
Don't motivate
three
him more.
three Liverpool guys in
But to be
the
fair,
top 4.
I'm not boasting, but us three are always around the top 4 every season. Most seasons. There
Yeah.
are the one-off, but most, I think if you take, let's say, the last 8 seasons, 6 seasons we've been top 4.
Yeah.
And that, I think, says a lot about how much we know about
The
fantasy.
quality of this football knowledge podcast.
This podcast is well informed.
Okay, so this year's FPL. What's the
So
What's
this year's
the deal?
FPL standard bet, which we have amongst the 3 of us, is the loser buys the top 2 kits. Normally we play last game week of the season,
this year
but
we're
this
doing-
will go the whole season.
Okay.
Okay, we'll
Okay.
start a FPL league. What we'll also do is we'll share the code for the league on our YouTube page on the channel, and whoever wants to join can join. And if we do get, say, at least 5 other people to join, then we'll have it as a league with all of us. And the winner, the podcast
The winner,
buys,
the winner gets the
buys
kit.
a kit of their choice.
Yeah. The Fan Theory podcast will
Yeah.
buy the winner of that FPL league
A kit, an
football
original
kit of their choice.
Yeah, an original football kit of their choice.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's if people want to join. But otherwise, our bet stands.
This is the whole season.
And to be fair, Kuts, thank you. You got us a very nice kit. The
Yes.
LeBron James one was
So
pretty cool.
this year we didn't do that, right?
We did. That's how he bought us the LeBron.
No.
Oh, that was last
That was last
season.
That was last year.
We
Oh,
didn't
who
do it
won
this
the
year.
last game
But
week?
this year,
This week,
year
because
there
you
was,
were in contention
You
last
were,
week.
you, were,
too
you, were
tight.
playing, you were playing other games.
Yeah,
No, but I think technically
No, I
that
think
game week
you should
maybe
buy-
you may have won.
Listen, I think you should buy all of us kits.
All of us.
No, the two of
You
us.
should buy the two of us.
Why?
Because
you've,
we didn't have an
Yeah,
internal
but you've
competition
gotten a
because
lot
you
of
had a
money now.
bigger.
So it was my fault.
Yeah, we
Okay,
didn't
now
have
why
it.
don't we do this? Why don't we just look at the last game week points and see who lost?
No,
It's
I
the
don't
easiest
think you
way to
can.
do
Can
it.
you?
You can. Just look at your last game week points.
no, but I didn't know I was competing.
check.
I'm last.
You were
Check,
not
check.
competing with
I was
anyone.
last.
You could have just done.
I don't
Riyad
want
is
to.
not buying, yeah.
I'm
So
not
it's
buying.
agreed. That's the fairest to do. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. I know it took a while to get this episode done. And let's hope the next few now, when I don't think any of us
next
are
round in
traveling.
a couple of weeks before the Prem starts.
Just
Prem
before the Prem
before the
starts.
Prem starts.
Yeah, just before. I
Yeah.
think the weekend.
That's in 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're good. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you. And that's a wrap.